I saw on the TikTok, somebody made a video that was like, it just was like, Pat Robertson died, and then he got a tambourine out, and he was like, I'm gonna lay down, Pat Robertson. Fuck yeah, I'm glad he died. Fuck yeah, I'm glad he died. Fuck yeah, I'm glad he died. I'm gonna lay down, Pat Robertson. Fuck yeah, I'm glad he died. Can't pull his shit no more. And I have had that song stuck in my head ever since I heard it.
I'm glad people are being inspired.
Pat Robertson's dead. I think that
should we just talk about that?
Like, just because, like, that's because the death is just around the corner. Guy did a whole thing about Pat Robertson and how, like, if you're a certain age, right? Like, if you remember, like, the war on terror and, like, you know, Bush conservatism, or you're older and you remember, like, Reagan shit.
Yeah.
Pat Robertson was absolutely instrumental in getting those people to vote, because they didn't vote before that. Like, they didn't vote before Reagan, and now they do. And
I was thinking of that was the song the Simon and Garfunkel, and I was thinking it's like you know, well, here's to you, Pat Robertson. And may Satan rape your ass in hell today.
Hey. Oh, fuck you, please, Mr. Robinson.
Robert.
Jesus hates you more than you certainly think.
If he exists.
He loves twinks. He is gay.
And it turns out everyone is gay, except for you, Pat Robertson.
Or it's like, if we're going Simon and Garfunkel, right, then it's like, I'm sure I don't want to be Pat Robertson. He came down from his mountaintop and fucking preached to dirty bullshit, and he was absolutely full of shit, and took missionary trips to Africa there's one, like, Simon Garfunkel song where he's just, like, saying stuff that happened, right? It's like, Pat Robertson took the trips to Africa, where he where he used the cover of missionary trips to buy a bunch of diamond mines and have them policed by dictators.
No, he covered up sending aid to war-torn regions. And instead of the trucks having aid or whatever, like what food and shit like that, supplies, it was fucking materials for setting up a diamond mine.
Yep. It was fucking pickaxes and
Cuckoo, Mr. Robertson.
Like,
so now you're dead and we are laughing at you.
Yeah, somebody was like, I want to live the kind of life where no one celebrates my death. And I said to that person, I want to live the kind of life that anyone who's butthurt about me celebrating Pat Robertson's death celebrates my death. That's the kind of life I want. Yeah. I want a life where my enemies are so glad I'm dead. Oh, they're so glad because I just was just a thorn in their side. just annoyed them. That's because that's really at this point, whatever. It's like, I'm too fucking crippled and fat and slow to fucking, do any real big changes. So what I certainly can do is just annoy the shit out of people who know they're wrong deep down.
Yeah, I know I saw a lot of like Reddit posts about people saying that like, yeah, my mom or my grandma like gave like a shit ton of money to Pat Robertson and like died poor and like,
Pat Robertson,
fuck you.
it's like, if you pound for pound, right? Pat Robertson was probably the recipient of more Social Security money than like any other person that has ever lived. Right? He just scared the shit out of every old person, and they gave him all their money.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like just basically creating the anti-abortion movement in the 90s, like
no, in the 80s.
Well, 80s. I mean, 80s and 90s, but yeah, like, and just like making it like front and center. Him and Jerry Falwell, those two guys, man, they're both gone now.
Oh, isn't it nice? Isn't it just so nice?
Now all we have left is Joe Falwell Jr.
and Jim Baker. Jim Baker's still alive.
Oh yeah,
and he's the one that went to prison.
yeah. These guys, man. These guys.
Hold on, wait. I found a tweet when he died, and I had to find it now because where'd it go? Hold on. God damn, why did so many things happen since this? Are you shitting me? There it is. Pat Robertson, who cheered the spread of AIDS as God weeding his garden. I wasn't alive for that one. Blamed
what did Pat Robertson die of?
Old. He was 93 or something.
Yeah, that's also God weeding his garden.
Yeah,
getting rid of the old fucks.
The dead, actually dead people away. Cheered the spread of AIDS as God weeding his garden. Blamed 9/11 on feminists and the ACLU, which is fucking. I didn't know that one.
He said it was like people having abortions and stuff like that.
It's civil liberties. Get the what? Blamed Hurricane Katrina on abortion and equated same-sex marriage with pedophilia.
There you go.
That man, Pat Robertson, has died. Happy Pride Month. Yeah, that's right. Suck it, Christians. Happy fucking Pride. Fuck you.
Did you see Ted Cruz tweeted out about the I think is Uganda that just basically made it like punishable by like life in prison for like being gay or whatever, and like death penalty for like multiple offenses or all that shit. And Ted Cruz tweeted out something like, "This is horrible. No government should have this sort of authoritarian blah 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 whatever." And
all right,
people
Ted.
lit into him like, "Oh, what are you fucking woke now all of a sudden?" Like,
Yeah, I mean,
just fucking went crazy, and it's just like, wow, this is where you people are really. Like,
well, no, and this is the one thing that I think is going to be positive that comes out of all this. Is that all those people that suck ass and are horrible, but
Yeah.
that have some shreds of humanity left in them, or they have some notion of tact that doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They are all going to be brought to the riverside to let float down the river. And I have
Or
to say,
cruise down the river.
they're going to take a little cruise down the river, down the river to the Niagara Falls and go over the edge. You know what I'm saying? But
or whatever's flows downward from Texas.
no, nothing. There's a bunch of desert over there. I mean, I guess it's the Rio Grande, but
Rio Grande.
yeah, no. And then hopefully they'll pull them to the Mexican side and beat them to death. Anyway, that's just a hope and a wish. It's not a fucking threat. Anyway, but all those guys, right? Like, because I feel like, Bush, Cheney, those guys, right? All of them. If they came out and said anything, if they said peep about any of this shit, Republicans hate them anyway. I mean, it's great. Mike Pence, yes,
Running for president?
he running for president for no reason because everyone hates him. Like, and everyone should hate him, right? Like, this is what, like,
that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, ask him about gay people, dude. Go ahead, right? You ain't gonna like what you hear on our side. Like, the people that are like trying to toe the line about this are getting fucked, and it's hilarious. Every time I go down to like the news tab on like fucking YouTube, because that's how, let's be honest, that's how I get my news, is like through cultural osmosis, and then like clicking on like a fucking 3-minute long YouTube video about something where I'm like, whoa, what happened? And then I play the video, and it doesn't matter where it is, doesn't matter what news source it came from. It's just like, what's the thing I need to know from this, right? I don't need to hear you talk. I don't need to hear that. I don't need to hear this. I don't care about that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, just filter out all the stuff that doesn't matter. But like, this thing happened. Oh, okay, that's the thing they're talking about. I turn it off, right? Like, that's how I get my news, right? And there's always something happening in the Ukraine. There's always fucking, there's Biden tripped, fucking Trump's indicted, whatever. And then there's like a bunch of like random shit that like, is like that people care about in one corner of the world, or something horrible happened in another corner of the world. It's like that's the basic news. That's the news.
Yeah.
Right? It's like something terrible happened. There's a war here. There's Ukraine, Biden, and Trump. That's it. That's the whole news.
Ukraine. Yeah. I mean, the big news from Ukraine recently was that fucking dam collapsing or whatever the fuck.
I don't know about, I don't care, whatever, who did what, Don't care.
Well,
don't know.
It's
Whatever.
one of those things where both sides are kind of blaming the other on like the whole thing, but it's basically
Why do you think I
the
don't
bad part is that it's very environmentally and agriculturally detrimental, and it's gonna fuck the world up as far as food. So
Yeah, no, grain.
grain, yeah, it's like we just basically it's like the equivalent of if fucking Russia like fucking bombed Kansas and fucking whatever other countries grow wheat here. It's bad. It's not good. And
No, of course it's bad.
it's
I assume
related
it's
to the
bad.
war, but it's not like really.
Anything I see, time I see something Ukraine, it's like, oh, it's bad, right? It's not good. There's no like,
Yeah, this is like people are saying this is like one of the worst environmental disasters and like maybe even of the decade. Like really bad.
well, guess how many of those I've already seen. You know what I mean? Like I just can't. I like it's
The fucking debt
right?
ceiling. We gotta talk about this. The fucking debt ceiling, goddamn fucking agreement shit. Because first of all, back before the Republicans took over the House, the Democrats had a chance to fucking pass the debt ceiling,
Yes.
and they did not see it as a priority.
Right.
And then fucking
because
all of a sudden it comes around and fucking it's time to now we really have to. And Biden is like, well, I'm gonna do my old negotiating skills and negotiate with the fucking people who are fucking
enemies
like,
of democracy
have the
and
opposite
blah, blah,
beliefs of everything on everything. At least as far as you're gonna know, right? And then, oh, what comes out of it? Oh, well, the fucking Mountain Valley Pipeline, we're gonna fucking fast track that shit, no problem. We'll just run a fucking gas line through a fucking national state park in Virginia and West Virginia, and fucking it'll all be fine. We don't need to fucking worry about all of the courts that have said this is environmentally bad and all of these things. We're just going to go ahead and do it. That's part of the agreement. Passed.
Well,
look, this is a win for the American people because we didn't crash the economy because we allowed the Republicans to take us hostage. And it's just a fucking game, dude. They're playing this fucking game.
No, and it's not a real game. It's not a real game because if they actually gave a shit about any of this stuff, then they would have done it earlier, but they didn't. And why didn't they do it? So that they could go, oh, look what the Republicans made us do. Like,
and there's also the 14th Amendment, which if you don't know what that is, it basically says.
No, I do know.
Yeah, it says the debt is no joke, and the fucking assholes can't fucking deny it, and we got to pay it. And that's what
you have to pay people for their what has been appropriated already.
Yes, unlike Trump, who apparently has never paid anyone for any work.
But it doesn't. All of that is all. This is all shell game bullshit. Right? It's like it's all. It's who's on first.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a never-ending. Oh no! Or is it are we going to do a catastrophe? Is it going to be a catastrophe? Oh look, they pulled something out of their ass at the last minute.
Who would this catastrophe get blamed on if it happened?
Always. No, but I mean, it's like, fucking give me the catastrophe then. Let me just look at it. Let me see what it is. Give it to me. Do it. Don't pass the fucking debt. I don't know what the fuck. Like, it's like, I've been listening to this shit since fucking Obama, right? Like, I don't, it's the same, it's the same action movie for fucking the worst nerds in the world. And I hate it.
Yeah, so like closed door negotiations between Kevin McCarthy and Biden.
We're running up
this week.
We're running up to the fiscal cliff. Oh my god! Oh my god! The Fed is saying that.
And then magically, at the end of the day, they agree.
Oh, look at that! Oh, they
basically all the things the Republicans want. Yay! We averted the crisis. Yeah, it's all good.
They're going to do whatever they have to save capital. Oh wait, they have to negotiate with Republicans. Oh, that means that they can't do anything good, always, right? Like it's just this never-ending series of catastrophes, and And then when one is averted, we're supposed to clap like fucking seals? Fuck you, right? Like, oh, you didn't burn the banks down and ruin everybody's credit and whatever. I don't know what the fuck happens if it happens. I don't know what happens. Who do we owe money to? Fuck you. We pay. Isn't the reason why we spend like literally $1 zillion on the military? Like, doesn't that mean that we don't owe anybody shit and come, I dare you, come
Dude,
get us?
Hell no, we don't get that deal. That's why it's absurd. That's why it's absurd that we are the world police. We don't get paid to do so. It's fucked up. Like the fucking, I mean, we kind of do.
No, of course we do. We get paid in like blood from fucking, third world countries.
Or just sucking the money out of other countries too.
And sucking money out of America.
And all of us. Everyone who
lives, it's just
the whole world.
I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. Because this is the thing. This is what I've been realizing, right? Life is too short to give two fucks about a thing that I am pretty sure I know why it's happening, and I know what's going to happen at the end, right? And every couple of years or whatever, we have to go through this whole rigmarole about, oh no, what happens? Like, dude, wait, is one of the options like China invades and then takes over America? Because like, do it, yes, let's do it. Come on.
Well,
like, we have like American culture with Chinese discipline sounds like the greatest thing in the world. Sounds like the best of both worlds.
We'll do American capitalism with Chinese
characteristics. Yeah,
Chinese characteristics. I mean, it doesn't sound like bad actually. Moving on.
Or it doesn't sound any worse. This very big I had like an epiphany. The most powerful singular entity of the least amount of people in this country, Supreme Court, is chock full of people who are the weirdest ass, don't believe anything that normal people believe people that exist on this planet. There is only one person in the goddamn world that is like Clarence Thomas. There is only one person in the world that is like Amy Coney Barrett. Only one, right? It's like nobody believes this shit.
The only normal one is probably the newest one.
Yeah.
What's her name? Brown Jackson or whatever?
Yeah. Jackson.
She's obviously the most normal of all of them. I mean, maybe one of the other ones is kind of normalish, but
she was the only dissenting vote in the last fucking tragedy that just happened in Supreme Court, which was like that unions are liable for fucking damage to company property if they strike.
Right, which means lost profit.
Well, not just that. It also means like it's like if you're a food service worker and you strike and all the food goes bad while you're striking, you have to pay for the food. You have to pay for the profits from the material that went bad, right? Like unfucking believable that those fucking Obama judges fucking voted for that shit.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all with that kind of shit. Not surprised at all.
It's not gonna. You know that it's not gonna pass. Motherfuckers did it anyway. It's burned.
Like they could have voted. Yeah, they could have voted for it or against whatever.
Let Jackson out of the building. I'm going to say it again. Let her out. Just her now. Cause fuck that.
Yeah. Give her the bat signal.
The rest of them,
out of here. And then we.
motherfucker to the ground. Burn that motherfucker to the ground. Burn that motherfucker to the ground. Burn that motherfucker to the ground. Keep it just like that. My first impression is whatever, that this is one of those things where Trump is so fucking stupid that he just thought, like, oh, whatever, they're papers, who cares? And the National Archives was like, we're the National Archives, this is the only thing we do, this is all we do, is this.
And we don't like you, Mr.
And this is all we do, and we know that you have shit that we are supposed to have, and give it here, right? And so he was like, do I have stuff? Okay, fine. And then he got his motherfucking lawyers to sign off on, here it is, here's all the shit he has, we asked him, and this is what he said he has, and that's it. And meanwhile, he was having his fucking aides, including his body man who cleans the poop off of him when he shits himself, who's going to prison over this.
Is that Walt guy?
I can't remember his name.
He's got a weird name like Walt.
I don't know. No, it's Keith something, I think, but I don't know. There's a picture of him in the thing I sent you. Way down. But anyway, he would have his aides move the boxes around to evade federal government in collecting their papers that they want, because they're the federal government and they want the fucking papers, right? They want the papers. You give them to them, right? Yeah. Because you're not a fucking moron, right?
Walt Nauta. That's the guy.
I remember his name being Keith something, but that guy could have quit, because I'm sure it's rats on a sinking ship now.
Yeah, this is apparently one of his longtime aides, Walt Nauta.
All of his lawyers have resigned because he not only lied to the feds, but he also lied to his fucking lawyers. And as well,
supposedly,
as this whatever. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I kind of believe it, because lawyers aren't stupid, right? Like, even the stupidest lawyer would know, like, hey, give back the fucking nuclear launch codes to the National Archives, you fucking dingus.
Yeah, what the even the most Republican, they know Trump's not a.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's like, here's the law.
You know that he's capable of some dumbass bullshit.
Law is you can't get around it, right? You can't get around it at all. And they also don't like you, right? Because I've heard a lot of fucking moron conservatives start talking again about Hillary Clinton's bullshit, whatever, her servers in her bathroom, and it's like, okay, look, number one, arrest her too. Fuck it, I don't care. Number two, she wasn't the president, right?
Yeah,
he was the president.
There's already been an FBI investigation in her.
The whole ass president, okay?
It fucked her. It basically fucked her chances of winning presidency.
And the FBI investigation, right? This is the thing about the FBI investigation, is it fucking Boy Scout, but yet somehow also a fucking mentally challenged Middle Eastern teenager torturer Jim Comey thought, oh well, I better, since she's gonna win, I better make sure that I am on the, I cross my T's and dot my I's and do a fucking press conference as the FBI director like no one ever has ever in the history of the FBI. Not the point. The point being that, yeah, the FBI didn't find anything on Hillary Clinton, even if there was something there, because Clinton plays the game. She is one of them, right?
She can
and she's not fucking stupid, right? Like,
right.
So just to get my bearings. My first and initial reaction, and has been this since, whatever, the fucking perfect phone call bullshit and all the other things they try to get Trump on, right? They are the only way they'll ever get him. The only way he'll ever do any time like you guys want, which I still don't think he's going to do, right? But the only way they're ever going to get him is if he does something that is so colossally stupid that it is never going to be repeated by another president. And none of the deep state will be able to even, whatever, throw all the congressional investigations you want at fucking Biden, impeach everyone, right? Whatever. You're not going to get them like this. You're not going to get them in the stupid Trump way that Trump got, right? He's the only person who's going to get got like that, right? But then somebody brought up the 3D chess move. This is the only 3D chess move that I think he might be capable of. Now, do I think that he is too narcissistic and concerned with self-preservation to do this? Yes, that's my personal opinion. I could be wrong. This is the only part where I admit that I could be wrong about any of this. I definitely think it's stupidity, okay? But the level of stupidity and how calculated it is that's the part that I might be wrong about, okay? Because somebody brought up the fact, no, it's not just greed like other people are saying, because it's like, oh, look at the documents. Oh, you want to buy some, right? Because I was like, that's dumb as shit, right? That's dumber than go. What are you gonna do with them if you buy? How much are they fucking worth? They're not worth anything. Like what military operations that happened 4 years ago, nuclear codes that have clearly been changed. Get the fuck out of here! Fucking bullshit. Fuck you. No way. Right? But this one person, I can't remember who was, brought up that no, he's taking a calculated risk to martyr himself, like they're out to get him, and then when nothing happens, right, when they don't lock him up, or even if they do lock him up, he's going to run for president. His ass is going to have his hardcore people are going to go way hardcore. They're going to be so much more hardcore than if they left him alone, and if they fuck whatever, like if he wasn't doing stupid shit. And it's like, he might know, and this is the thing where I'm skeptical but open, right? He might know what he's doing. This might be a calculated risk on his part, knowing that they can't lock up a former president, because if they did, then they'd start having to lock them all up, right? And so he's doing such a flagrantly stupid thing in order to rile up his base, because he is trying to win, right? Ultimately, he's trying to win, and he's trying to get his people out en masse, and he's trying to get the old Trump people back, right? The people who, like, whatever, they voted for Obama and Trump, whatever. All that. He's trying to be like, it's not fair. They're going after me. Martyr complex. I'm the enemy of the deep state, and I am, and they're attacking me. Vote for me because they're out to get me, right?
Well,
that's
the judge presiding over the case?
Nope.
Her name's Eileen Cannon or some shit like that. Guess who appointed her?
Trump.
Yep. The judge that he appointed is presiding over his 37 felony counts of fucking espionage.
See, I still don't think it's like, this is the thing. It's like they gotta make it look official in whatever capacity, right? They can't just be like, nah, he didn't do it. Bye. Right?
No, they're not going to do that. But
they're going to draw it out. No, then never mind. Then that's even more cahoots. That's fucking cahoots. He's fucking. It is 3D chess, right? He's going to rile up his base, and then he's going to attempt another violent overthrow, but a real one this time, right? Like before, he was fucking. Yeah, of course he wants fucking people to fight and die for him. That's the ultimate narcissistic thing. You know what I'm saying? But now, if he's embattled and he's already been president, and he was a great president, deep state, Biden stole the election, like all the bullshit that they believe, they add this on top of that. Man, there's guns in the streets. That's fucking war. And if anyone would start a war for just his own personal bullshit, it is him. And the funniest outcome, funnier than him going to prison, funnier than how mad all of the like Russia libs would be if nothing happened to him, would be if he fucking dropped dead of natural causes.
Yeah, the stress of everything.
I would roll the dice with, DeSantis or fucking Pence or Chris Christie or Burzum or whatever. Right?
That's like the thing. I honestly, I think DeSantis is purely running on the hopes that Trump will either like be unable to be president or dead or something else. Like
or daddy gives him a job. Which he's right. If that's what he thinks, he's way stupider than I thought he was. Right? If DeSantis actually thinks that, like, he runs against him and then at the end he goes, good, he goes to shake hands and he goes, good game, and fucking, hey, can I have, the V spot or the fucking, whatever, secretary of anti-wokeness or whatever. Like, Trump will be like, go fuck yourself, you ran against me, bye. Bye.
Well, yeah, I think Nikki Haley and Tim Scott they're both running, quote unquote, for president, but they're basically running for vice president. I think the VP pick, regardless of whether it's Trump or DeSantis or whatever, I think one of those two will be the VP. And
he will cynically.
It's probably going to be Trump, Tim Scott, but it could be Trump Haley because she was in. I forget, did he kick her out?
I don't remember. No, wasn't she one of the people that resigned after January 6th? No, wait, it was before that. He might have kicked her out. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't care.
I think it's going to be Trump, Tim Scott. That's the ticket that I.
Yeah, I could do that. I could see him being like, look, it's a black guy. My black guy.
I got the close one.
Don't you love it?
He's like, if you combine Michael Jordan with the other coolest one, then you get Tim Scott.
Herman Cain died for me, literally. And he was my other favorite black guy. And now that he's gone, well, I guess he's gonna have to do.